Spotlight Live. I have the amazing Leah Chan with me tonight. She is going to show us some of her incredible NASA Mocs. We'll talk about her journey in the AFOL community and take a look at some other things, as well as take some Q&A from you. This is AFOL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Climb aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive. It's time for AFOL Spotlight Live.
All right, Leah, welcome. Hi. It's so great to have you with us.
Thank you.
How is life treating you?
Everything's been good. Just try to stay busy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been trying to stay busy too. Today was the first day. It's been in the 90s here for like 3 weeks, and today finally cooled down. So I've been complaining about the temperature in this room during the live stream for like the last couple of weeks of my show, and I'm finally feeling really comfortable in here with the temperature because it's not an insulated building here. But how about you?
I'm actually really jealous because it's like upper 90s over here right now with really humid weather.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I don't envy you. We'll just take a quick second to say hi to some folks in the live stream, live chat. Moto, Dave Morgan, thank you guys so much for being here. My lovely moderators in the live chat. We've got Jeff McElwee, Builder Brothers, Remy Baker, Melissa is here, Chops, Brad's Life, Ted Roy Briggs, Debbie Satala. Thank you all so much for being with us. As I said, we're going to take a look at some of Leah's incredible creations. We're going to look at some other cool stuff. We'll talk a little bit, and then there is a Q&A at the end of the stream. So we'll do a little bit more interaction with you all at that time, and we'll try to keep tabs on you along the way. So thank you so much for being here. Leah, can you tell us a little bit about how you got connected to the Lego fan community? Where did it start for you?
Well, I guess I've been playing with Lego since I was about 5 years old. My mom's best friend gave me a set, and it was set number, I believe it was set number 10. Because I think, let me find a picture of that. As a matter of fact, I recently posted this one on my Facebook. So that was my very first set that I got.
Wow. It is set number 10. When you said 10, I almost didn't, I was like trying to wrap my head around how could there have ever been a set number 10? This is it. It's amazing.
Yep, that's it. And back then, the set didn't even have instruction. So basically, what I had to do is build from the pictures on the box itself.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Do you feel like you did you build a lot of different things with that very first set that you had, or did you build it the way it looked on the box and leave it alone?
Well, I did build everything on the box first.
Okay.
And try to build other houses and animals and things like that. And a little bit later on, my parents did get me more sets. That's when I started building planes and cars, a lot of houses.
Yeah. And when did you get drawn into the NASA stuff?
I guess with the NASA stuff itself, when my parents told me to watch the James Bond movie Moonraker, that was, I think, back in the early 80s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So right after I got home from watching that movie, I started building things like space shuttles and moon base and stuff like that out of Lego pieces.
That's incredible. Awesome. And how long have you been showing your Mocs at Lego fan events?
Well, I guess the very first time I went to a convention was Break Fiesta down in Houston back in 2011.
Okay.
Matter of fact, around that time, I didn't even know anything about AFOLs and lugs and any of that stuff. because around that time, that's when Lego came out with the Shuttle Expedition set.
Right.
So I bought that set, and I wanted to build the crawler, the launch pad, and basically everything around it. So I went to a Lego store and keep on buying whole many pieces over and over again. And then finally the manager told me, it's like, do you know anything about AFOL and LIA'S and conventions and stuff like that? I say, I have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that's when he gave me information about Brick Fiesta. So that's when I went ahead and complete my first mock, which is the Shuttle Launch Pad. But it was the earlier version. I mean, it didn't look anything like that right now.
Yeah.
So I guess basically when I took it down to Houston, it was this one right here.
And so this
So
is
basically the earliest version of my launch pad.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't know what to expect about going to a Lego convention at all. So I show up the first day, the first setup day, show up as early as possible because I didn't know what to expect. So I just carry everything in, set everything up, and just start walking around the mall because Brick Fiesta that year down in Houston, it was at the Houston Galleria.
Okay.
So I did walk around the mall and instead of just hanging out at the convention area because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do.
And what was the reaction you got when you...
Well, the thing is, since I got there so early, I didn't really get to meet a whole lot of people.
Okay.
Because I remember I met Glenn Coughlin. So he was one of the very first person that I met at the convention. So, I mean, he saw my mock. He was like, wow, that's really awesome. I mean, so that's kind of cool to get some feedback from others. But throughout the whole convention, I didn't know that you're supposed to somewhat hang out with your mock and kind of do a show and tell when people walk by and stuff like that because I didn't know what to do. Basically, I walk around, talk to other AFOL members, and just go to workshops and seminars and stuff like that. So basically, it was the very last day of the convention itself when they do the award ceremony. So I got Best in Space in this mock. That's when everybody else say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're the one that built it. How come you didn't come up to me and tell me this is what you built? But I tell them I didn't know that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. It can be hard to figure that out your first time at a convention. I remember I went to Bricks Cascade, is our local convention here, and I went a couple of times, maybe even 3 years in a row, just as a public attendee before I even really knew like how to become a person who had put Mocs on display. And through that time, I was kind of getting connected with the lug and whatnot. But yeah, I know now some of the conventions offer like a 101, a convention 101, so that new people can learn like, what the best practices are. But that's, well, okay. So now Brick Fiesta moves around now, right? Is that?
Yes, it does.
And
so that first year I went, it was down in Houston. So the year after that, came up to Dallas. So we had it at the Mesquite Convention Center. So I guess the second year it did work better at the convention itself since I knew more people and they knew what I can build. So I did get a lot great feedback from the group. Plus the fact that I joined the Tech Slug group at that time. I guess now is the DFW Lug.
Okay. How do you feel about that's a little bit of a different concept to me. Being here, we've got a convention that happens every year in Portland. We've got a convention that happens every year in Seattle. There's a convention that happens every year in the Bay. So for people who are in the community in Texas, how is that experience of the convention, the local convention, moving around every year?
It's kind of tough to tell the honest truth because each year you will have a different group from whichever city that that's hosting conventions itself to put the convention together. And plus the fact that for, I guess, the fan base wise, they do have to travel around to different part of Texas. It's basically there are 4 cities that Break Fiesta does the convention at, which is Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and up here in Dallas.
Okay.
But they do rotate each year.
Cool. Well, IR Brick Reviews gave a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, IR Brick Reviews. Appreciate your support of the live stream tonight. And Lego All Around, I'm assuming this is a question for you, Leah, given the location, says, did you ever go to a Lego convention in Louisiana?
I think we did Brick Universe at Louisiana one time. It was over in New Orleans. So I think that might be the very first Lego convention in Louisiana.
And what is your relationship with Brick Universe? Because that's a little bit different,
I guess
right?
I'm one of the builders for Brick Universe, along with Rocco Valia, Jonathan Lopes, of course, Paul Harrington, and EJ. So we are somewhat the regular folks with Brick Universe.
So do you have models that are just always traveling around with Brick Universe, or do you have do you put them on display and then bring them home and then put them on display again? How does that work?
That's what I do. I do travel with my bricks, because I guess when I'm not doing Brick Universe, I try to put the models into museums or go to local school and talk to kids to try to encourage them into the math and science and engineering program.
Wow. That's
so,
awesome.
You know, I do keep my models at home whenever I can, or just put them into museums.
Okay, so I can see the shuttle launch pad over your shoulder over there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us when you go into a school to do a demonstration or you go to Brick Universe, how long does it take you to set up the shuttle launch pad?
I guess the earlier version did take me a long time because the way I built it, the way I designed it, I didn't make it somewhat the modular platform. So it did usually take me about 2 hours to do the setup and about an hour to do the teardown. But now I can set up pretty much about 30 minutes and around 30 minutes for teardown.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I got to see your models at Brick World in Chicago last year, and I was just blown away, Leah. I took pictures of your the shuttle launch pad during the World of Lights. And it's one of those things when I'm swiping through my old pictures, I see that, and my first gut reaction is that's a real photograph of the actual shuttle. It looks so real in the photographs.
Exactly.
They're amazing. Do you do you think you could walk us through some of your favorite photographs of those?
See, some of the great pictures, I guess with my picture-wise for the shuttle launch pad, Joe Mino did put me on Red Journal. I think it was issue 41.
Okay.
So he asked me if it's possible to take the launch pad and do some great photo shoot on it. So that's when I did the earlier version of the photo shoot. So this is one of the pictures that I did. I went ahead and took the entire mock out to Lake Grapevine. Since the Kennedy Space Center is somewhat close to the coast,
right.
I want to have the water in the background.
Yeah.
To make it more realistic. And plus the fact that with the natural lighting, it looks really, really good that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the real clouds in the sky.
Yes, exactly. So I did several pictures and sent it to Joe. And I guess the initial reaction with Joe is that he thought that I sent him pictures of the real space shuttle instead of my mock.
Yeah.
Because
at first glance, that's what it's like.
Looks.
Yeah, it sells so well and you have so many details in there. But before we continue, Melissa Mayette, thank you so much. Melissa has a 19.99 super chat in the live chat. Thank you so much, Melissa. One of our continuing supporters here. She has fun things to tell me about most days. So thank you, Melissa. Appreciate your support. So Leah, I am curious, when you're working on these mocks, do you look at a lot of reference pictures? Do you look at like technical schematics? Do you how do you decide what like each of those little details is going to be?
See, that's one of the lucky point. Since most of my mocks are NASA related, so there are so much information on the internet, and basically from the NASA website,
Yeah,
that I can find pictures, videos, charts, diagram, anything, you name it. So that way I can get as much detail as possible and get the correct scale also.
Okay, cool. Well, I forgot to show my show and tell intro before you started showing that stuff. How soon would you like to do the demonstration with the motion?
I can run it now if you want.
You want to run it now? All right, here we go. Here's the show and tell intro.
I guess let me go ahead and get the S-brake working.
No problem. No problem. So Leah is going to take just a moment to get the demonstration ready with the shuttle launch pad. She's got some movement there. Let's see how it's going. Thank you. Andy Yu has joined us. We've got Lego-matic in the live chat. Thanks, everyone. Holly is certainly here. Hold on a second, Leah. I'm going to go ahead and share this to Facebook and Instagram because I haven't done that yet, and I don't want anyone to miss your awesome demonstration here. So I'll at least...
Can you see the launch pad itself?
I can. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch it over to here. Maybe if it's just you. No, that's not as cool. Okay, this is good. I can see it. Here we go. Everybody get ready. What kind of music would you imagine happening here? Like, bum, bum, bum. Is that too cliche? Bum, bum. So what was that thing? That is the
crawler that NASA uses to bring the mobile launcher from the vehicle symbol living out to the launch pad.
Okay.
So that's the thing that's supposed to move really, really slow, like less than 1 mile per hour.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pick up the entire mobile launch platform and bring it backwards.
Awesome. So I feel like I'm like a commentator. So now Leah is moving the... Oh my goodness, it's so cool.
I mean, this is one of the neat things that I always do at each of the conventions. I run the demo, and the kids love it. I mean, it's a lot of them, they don't expect anything to move. So whenever they see the crawler and the mobile launcher move, they go on and all the reaction is so wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. And you're using an S-brake.
Yes, I use the S-brake for the controller, so that way I can use my iPhone to control it.
Yeah, cool. People in the stream, Dave Morgan says that's so slick. Brickanista right into the danger zone. I don't know. That might be the wrong movie. See you later says I want one. Moto says what? Remy Baker salutes. Yeah, awesome. Really cool. Have you ever launched any Lego into orbit?
No, not yet. One of these days, I'm going to try to do that because I've seen YouTube video where kids get those weather balloons.
Yeah.
So they launch things out of space.
How do you have a picture on your socials somewhere of like, is it a brick built version of you as an astronaut? Or is it?
Yeah, I like to go to different I guess NASA museums.
Okay.
And a lot of times they do have somewhat a astronaut that you can take pictures with.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of time I try to take pictures in those, and I went ahead and do a great version of myself as an astronaut.
Yeah. And I feel like I saw a picture of the brick-built version of you as an astronaut.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was in orbit. How did you do that? Was that photoshopped or?
Photoshop.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It looks just like what they did with the Oh, this is so cool.
So we got the launch pad back on the platform.
Oh, it's incredible. It's awesome. I'm watching it so intently.
And it is kind of slow.
It's fine. It's cool. I mean, the thing moves, what did you say, 1 mile per hour? In real life? Remy Baker says, yeah, I hope he doesn't get a copyright strike because I'm singing Danger Zone.
Launcher on the launch pad, that's when they prep the shuttle for launch.
Oh man, it's so cool. Do you want to
So you have your crew access arm. And then this right here is called a rotating service structure. This is what they use to transfer the cargo into the space shuttle itself. So the cargo would go into this little area right here, which is the white room. And when they're ready to transfer the cargo in there, they move the entire thing over.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
So that's how they put the cargo into the space shuttle.
Leah, I'm amazed. How many motors?
For this right here, I do have 2 of the train motors on it.
Okay.
The crawler has 2 extra large motors. I guess the crew access on 1, the oxygen vent on 1, and then the lifting capability 2.
Wow.
So I do have a lot of motors in this thing.
Yeah, does that all run off of one S-brick or do you have more than one?
I have 2 S-bricks.
Okay.
So 1 for the crawler and 1 for the regular launch pad.
Yeah. S-brick is probably, I'm not crazy about many third-party products, but S-brick is probably my favorite one. Like of all the things that I've ever used that was made for Lego but isn't made by Lego, S-brick is probably my favorite.
Well, I guess since back then with the Lego system, you can only use the infrared controller, not
right.
Bluetooth, and you cannot really do any programming with it. So when Osprey came out with the Bluetooth and where you can actually program the controller for whatever you want to do with it, I mean, that's like the best thing that came out.
Yeah.
When it comes to motorizing Lego.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I kind of want to get my hands on a few more. I've got 1. But it's.
You have the newer version that's supposed to do a lot more things to it too.
Oh, okay. Is that out now or is it coming?
I think it is out already.
Okay.
So, and what I usually do is I do the similar launch.
T-minus, up to Atlantis' computers has occurred. And watch the booster nozzle steering check and work. Firing chain is armed. Go for main engine start. Came out as 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1, 0, and lift off. The final lift off of Atlantis. Shores of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream. Houston now controlling the planet Atlantis. Space shuttle
No.
one final time for the start of this sentimental journey in the history.
That's awesome.
So that's what I do at the
That's
convention.
it's amazing. I love it. It's creating such a wonderful experience for the people that that come to view your models. That's so awesome. So you have another one over to the other side, right?
Yes, I also have the space launch system back there right now.
Oh, so cool.
That is what now. So that's the launch conversion. I mean, because I saw a picture online on the NASA website. Matter of fact, it was this picture right here. So it was this picture right here. So that's when I decided to do the mock.
And what spacecraft was that? What?
That's the space launch system.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Jake Sadovich is in the live chat, and he said it was so fun to see that sequence in person. So I'm assuming he got to see it at Brick World Chicago last year. I didn't see any of that stuff moving. I only saw in Chicago. I only saw it sitting there. And it was so impressive just on display. I couldn't believe how incredible it looked just now when you did all of the demonstrations. So amazing, so amazing. All right, let's see. Do you want to talk about anything? I asked you the other day if you had an inspiration, and you told me a little bit about. Do you want to talk about anybody? You want to show anything?
Well, there are several builders that really inspire me throughout the year. I guess the very first one is Simon Liu. Because when I first found out about all the AFOLs and lugs and everything else, also about the Flickr page, that's when I started following Simon on Flickr. So basically everything that he does is just absolutely incredible. I mean, especially since he is such a huge space fan.
Yeah,
I guess, somewhat similar to a lot of things I like to do.
It sounds like you're clicking. Are you pulling up Simon's stuff?
Let's see. Let me pull up Simon's stuff.
All right, I'm gonna play the cool stuff we found online. This is cool stuff we found online.
Cool stuff we found online.
All right, so Leah's just telling us about one of her great inspirations and hilarious, kind gentleman who was in season 1 of AFOL Spotlight Live, Simon Liu. And everyone, if you're in the live chat, I see some other people who joined us. We've got Brad's Life, we've got Michael, we've got Stud Sidious, Braden Hughes. Y'all, Leah just a few minutes ago did a demonstration of her shuttle launch platform, and unbelievable. It does so many different things. So if you're just joining us, you're going to want to go back and check that out in the replay of this live stream. And right now, Leah's going to show us some of her favorite things from Simon Liu.
guess one of my favorite ones that Simon did. This one, where did it go again? Yes. It's this one right here.
Oh my goodness.
That's the favorite mock that he has ever done.
What are the giant figures?
I mean, it's just absolutely incredible and awesome with the classic space theme.
Yeah, and they've got to be huge. Are those? Do you know what those figures are, Leah?
I think those are the one that has the lights.
Like flashlight.
Yeah, the flashlight minifigures.
Yeah, that's awesome, incredible, cool. Well, let's see. I think did you want to show us your Instagram or your Flickr?
Let's see my Instagram page. I guess my Flickr page.
Yeah, Moto says the LED lights. Are those the keychain dudes? I think they looked bigger than keychains to me, Moto. I think they must be like sort of the bigger handheld flashlights because I was looking at some of the pieces. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong about that, but C Football 54 says hello, Boone. Hello, C Football. So here we have.
This is my Flickr page.
If you're watching, Leah's got some incredible pictures of her Mocs at Flickr, at Instagram, and you can find links to these pages in the description of the video below. Jeff McElwee with a $5 super chat says, "Buy Leah some Tang. Her creations are out of this world." Have you drank Tang, Leah?
The astronaut drink.
Yeah. So definitely go check out Leah's links in the description of the video. Leah, let me ask you this. You mentioned a set that you built early on when you were sort of like reconnecting with Lego as an adult fan. Do you still build sets or do you primarily build Mocs?
Mostly Mocs. I do buy sets every once in a while. I mean, the last set that I built was the Lunar lander.
Okay.
And then the one before that was the Apollo 7.5 set. I don't really buy sets as much anymore.
Yeah. Let's see. I've built. I built the International Space Station. I built the Lunar lander.
I don't even have that one yet.
No.
No.
And I have Saturn V, but I haven't built it yet. Because I like to build sets, but I don't build. I guess I should say I don't spend nearly as much time building sets as I do building Mocs. So it kind of sounds like you're in a similar boat. And you were telling me that you've been doing some sorting. Have you been doing some sorting during quarantine?
Yes, I've been doing a lot of sorting lately, which is not fun. I hate sorting. I really do. I mean, matter of fact, a lot of time when I build a mock that I finish showing it at conventions or events, I would just throw in a large bin instead of taking it apart and sorting out the brick and reusing the bricks. So now I'm finally going through a bin of bricks that start sorting everything out and start using those bricks to actually build new mocks.
Yeah, I have a here's a little I have a right down here. I don't always do this kind of thing, but I just sorted out. I don't usually sort by color, but I'm building something giant and yellow. So I just have been sorting out a bunch of yellow from all of my bins of random pieces. And You know what? I'm gonna do this just because it's a fun behind the scenes thing for people to see. This is I'm starting on a yellow submarine wall hanging. So this is here. How do I get to my just me? So this is going. Obviously, you won't see all these colors. It'll be all yellow and white, and this will be able to hang on the wall, and it'll be sort of the Beatles' yellow submarine. But that's what I've been sorting lately because the last thing I built was something that I completely bricklinked, so I didn't have to sort for it. You know, it was all the parts came to me, and I built it as soon as I had all the parts. But anyway, no. So I get that the sorting thing. I put it off as long as I can, and I end up spending way too much time looking through unsorted stuff while I'm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because worse yet, I would rather go out and just buy the bricks that I need from the Lego store instead of looking through the bricks that I have.
Sure.
But now with the whole shutdown and the pandemic, so basically I have no choice to actually use my own bricks that I have instead of going to the store to get new ones.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. It is about 20 to 7. Do you mind if we move to Q&A?
Sure.
All right. AFOL Q&A. It's that time, everybody. Put your questions and answers into the live chat. They can be questions for me, questions for Leah, questions for both of us. We will do the best we can to answer as many questions as we can. I'll throw a few questions in there while people are putting their questions in the chat there. My friend Perry asks a funny question from time to time, and it is if you could have any Lego set as how does he say it? It's like if you could make any Lego set edible and eat it, which Lego set would you most like to eat?
Because I think you did have this question before in one of your other live shows, I remember. Oh gosh. Because I don't remember who it was, but they did mention about eating the yellow submarine. I thought that was actually a good one.
Yeah, because it might taste like it might be lemon flavor or banana.
Yes.
That's a good one. I like it, and it's a lot of yellow. It's a high concentration of those bold colors, so it certainly seems like it would be like a tropical fruit starburst or something like that.
Yes.
Let's see. Legomatic says, will Leah be putting these creations on ideas? I know that your models are too large for ideas, but have you ever thought about developing a product for ideas?
I did put some other things that I made before on idea. They were little the micro builds of architecture set.
Okay.
Because I put a Dallas Cowboys stadium and the Ross Perot Museum on Lego Ideas. But I didn't put any of the space-related stuff since most of my Mocs are just so huge because I knew that it's not going to be qualified anyway.
Yeah.
But I have thought about making smaller sets to try to either put on Lego Idea or just sell it on my own.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good. Good luck with that. If you try Ideas again, I know that Ideas seems like it's getting so what's the word? I mean, I keep adjusting my camera in the wrong direction. The last review they did, I think 22 Ideas had reached 10,000 supporters. And they only picked 3 or 4 of those 22 or something like that. So it seems like it's getting pretty busy on Ideas and challenging to, Jake Sadovich was in there at the prime of Ideas. And got that ship in a bottle through. But I always have ideas that I would love to put on Ideas. But I always just am battling with, is it worth the time? Is it worth the energy? I know it takes a lot of work. Moto said, Leah, do you have any plans to build the SpaceX stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to build a SpaceX, especially the Falcon Heavy.
Okay.
I mean, especially I do have the Launch Pad 39A with the Apollo, the 75, and then the 39A with the Space Shuttle. So might as well build the 39A with the SpaceX with the Falcon Heavy. So I am working on that right now, but I have to sort all my brick first.
Yeah, I get it. And Brick Fiesta 2020 said, "What's your next project? Is that your next project?"
2020 they did make it just virtual. They postponed the live version until next year, and it's gonna be down in Houston again.
Okay. Cool.
So I am planning to go and take all my space stuff down there again.
Yeah. That's great. I'd love to get to one of the. I'd love to get to Brick Fiesta some year. I don't know when, but hopefully someday. Let's see. Brad's Life said, "What started you to build NASA space Mocs?" I think you talked a little bit about that earlier in the stream.
I guess basically it was the Moonraker movie that got me interested with space and space exploration. But I guess during junior high school, that's when we learned about space exploration, especially with the Teacher Going to Space program. With Krista McCullough. I remember it was in the 8th grade, so that did really push me to start getting into NASA and everything with the space exploration.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Jeff McElwee said, "Do you plan on building any of the conceptual designs NASA has done for future space travel?"
I think I might, because I have seen some of the ones they put up already, especially the one for the moon mission. So more than likely I will build some of those. So there's a lot of things for me to build.
Yeah. Well, you got time, right? Like, just sometime in the future. Maybe by the time you get around to building those future space travel ideas, they'll actually exist.
Yes.
Let's see. Remy Baker says, "Do you build any of the rovers? Curiosity or?"
Not yet. Okay. I do want to build those too, especially with the Mars rover. The 2020 just went up. I think the name was Perseverance, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So I do really want to build one of the Mars rovers. But I did get the Lego idea set Mars rover.
Oh, good.
I haven't built it yet, though.
When is that from? That was pretty early, right?
Yes. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Cool. Holly says space is a pretty popular theme on ideas. So I don't know if she means doing space is you have a lot of competition, or doing space.
Yeah, there are a lot of Lego ideas going on with NASA related things. I mean, especially they do have the space launch system on there, and it's the same creator that came up with the Saturn V set. And I vote for her. I did, because it really is a great set.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that she will eventually get to 10,000, and Lego will actually make that set.
Yeah, cool. Let's see. Andy Yu says, "Have you ever built a command module and lunar module Moc?"
Not really. Kinda, okay, because I did build a commission of the command module for the Apollo program. As a matter of fact, let me see if I have that picture. Because I built this for the Frontier Flight Museum when they had the 50th anniversary.
Oh, cool.
They were auctioning that off for the event that they had.
Whoa.
So I was able to meet Walt Cunningham, because he was one of the Apollo pilots. I mean, the Apollo astronaut.
Yeah.
So he did actually sign the Moc.
Oh, cool. That's rad. There, Holly. Speaking of meeting people, Holly asked, "Have you ever met Stephen Pakbaz, the fan designer of the Mars rover?"
Not yet. I do have him on my Facebook. I do
Okay.
follow him on Facebook. I have chatted with him before, but I never met him in person.
Okay, cool.
Because I haven't been to any of the convention on the West Coast yet.
Yeah, well, you should come out. Come out to.
I need to.
Come out to
I
Portland.
Really do.
Hey, ask anyone who came to Portland last year. They'll tell you it was a blast. We had so much fun.
Paul Harrington told me about it.
Yeah. It's my local show, so I'm completely biased. But Simon came last year, and I think he was a little bit skeptical until the very end, when he got his swag bag, and he seemed pretty pleased after getting his it's a big bag of loose parts. But Brick Fiesta said to me, "We'd be glad to have you any year, Boone. Awesome. I hope to get down there. We have let's see. Do you know where Abilene is? Not Abilene. Lubbock. Do you know where Lubbock is?
Yes.
What big?
That's where Texas Tech is.
Yeah. Is that near a larger city in Texas?
I think Lubbock is probably about 3.5 hours away from me.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing about Texas. Texas is so big.
It's so big. Yeah. Well, wherever. So my wife and I have these best friends that moved to Lubbock a couple of years ago. And my thought was that I would track Brick Fiesta and see when it's going to be the closest to them. And wherever that is would be closest to them, maybe we would all come down and I would spend some time off at Brick Fiesta. So who knows? We'll see. I hope.
I guess you're going to have to wait until when Brick Fiesta come back up to Dallas.
Okay.
So I believe it's probably going to be around 2022.
Okay, great. I have time.
Yep, I got lots of time.
I have time to plan. Fantastic. Moto gave a $5 fundraiser. He says SpaceX fundraiser. So I guess that means I have to send that $5 directly to you, Leah. So let's see if we have any other questions. I would love to see Lego release a Sputnik set. Says Cal Pal Cuber. Anyone else? That would be interesting. Early Russian or I guess Soviet Union. Is that what Sputnik was? The one with the things?
Yeah, the first satellite that went out of space.
The one like that? Yeah, cool. Let's see. Legomatic says, is Leah a fan of the Lego Ideas exosuit set? It's sort of like a space set, but sort of not.
I bought the set. I did.
Okay.
I didn't build it. That's the thing. I kept it in the box. I mean, It is a great set. It's a really, really cute set.
Here's mine. This was early in my journey back to kind of loving Lego. I've always loved Lego, but it was some of these. I don't know. Was this like which Ideas set was this? Everybody, let us know. Was this number 4?
Yeah, I think it was number 4.
I think number 5 was the Back to the Future DeLorean. But anyway, those two sets, this one and the Back to the Future DeLorean, were probably what I would say are like the two sets that I bought as an adult that sort of like really got me going, like, all right, I need to do more of this. And I tell this story all the time. At that time, I was working down the street from a game store in Portland that had a table of loose Lego brick. You could go in and fill up a bag and pay for it. And so I would, on my lunch breaks, I would walk down there, and that's kind of how I started building Lego again as an adult. Anyway, and then I got connected with the local lug, Port Lug here, and the local convention, Bricks Cascade, and it's just been a spiral down into the oblivion that is the Lego fandom.
It's a good way of spiraling.
What's that? It's a good way of spiraling?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's see. How does Leah feel about the old Lego City Space Shuttle? Some weren't very realistic at all. Did you have any of those back in the 80s or 90s?
I bought those sets also. I mean, I guess for the older one, the best one that came out with the Discovery. That's when they have something going on with the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Because I remember they have the space shuttle, they have the Mars rover, and some other sets, and also the space station. I mean, they were still great sets. I mean, it's not the greatest, but at least it's NASA related.
I'm going to see if I can bring those up. The Discovery Channel. Yeah, here we go. All right, I'm just going to bring this over here. I'm at Brickset, so thank you in advance to Brickset for letting me do this. Not that one, that one. So here is, sorry, Leah, you're not going to be able to see it, but everyone at home can see. This is the 7470 Space Shuttle Discovery, and it is branded Discovery Channel. That's a pretty cool set. So this came
really
out.
Nice set.
This came out in 2003? No? What does it say? Why am I not? Yeah, 2003. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on it. There's just some neat sort of, you know, solar, I guess they probably like solar collectors there. Those elements. That's cool. Yeah, they did a pretty nice job on that one. I like that. Well, there was there a Technic space shuttle like from the 90s?
Yes, there is a Technic version of the space shuttle. I don't have that set in. It's actually really, really hard to get right now. And
I'm gonna see if I can find pictures of that. I remember. No, Technic. Have I spelled something wrong? Technic space shuttle. Technic space. Maybe I'll just do space shuttle. I'll let everyone in on the what I'm searching here. Space shuttle, and we'll just see. This is fun, right? Is there a Technic one? Can I just see all of these? Oh yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Oh, this is so cool. I remember when this came out, and I thought it was so rad. It's got fiber optics.
mm-hmm.
It's got an electric system. So I think the what are they? Is that payload bay doors? What would you call those?
The cargo bay door opens and closes, and I think the robotic arm moves also, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 1996. Man, this was I would have been 12 years old when this set came out, and that would have hit me right there in like the, you know, middle school. Boone was all about the space shuttle. I remember building a space shuttle out of like you know, cardboard for some sort of school project with like a cutaway, so you could see on one side you could see the whole outside of the space shuttle, and on the other side you could see everything inside. And I wanted that Technic Lego space shuttle, but I never had it. But it looks pretty cool.
It's really hard to find that set right now. That's what I've heard.
I bet it is. You know, I think that that's one that, you know, if you were willing to build it without the fiber optics and maybe a couple of special parts, it would probably be much more affordable to just source the parts to build it than to actually find the set. That would be kind of a fun endeavor, wouldn't it? All right, let's see. We're working in here. Beverly Dumite says, Leah, your work is amazing.
Hi, Beverly.
Melissa said, you could come to New Hampshire, Boone. I don't know what's going to bring me over to New Hampshire. Maybe my brother-in-law's family lives in Maine, so maybe if I make it over to Maine, I'll take a little jaunt into New Hampshire. Who knows? That's one of those questions that as a YouTuber you get asked all the time. Are you going to come to here? Are you going to come to here? And I want to make trips all the time, but I can't. So it just every year it's sort of like a matter of Well, and now quarantine, all my plans for going to conventions. Yeah, everything's off. But let's see. Andy says, for either Boone or Leah, this may be off topic. It's fine. We're in the Q&A, Andy. You're welcome. But how did you feel about Lego canceling the Osprey set? Oh, no. Leah, do you have any opinions? We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
With that said, I think it's more of a technical issue than the reason why they say they want to cancel it. Because I guess some of the videos that I saw with the gear problems and things like that, I'm hoping they will eventually reissue it. Because, you know, from what I saw online and on YouTube video, it really is a great set.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What's my opinion about that set? I feel like people got way too worked up about it. And I think what I believe about it is that if, in fact, they did pull it, now I think you could absolutely be right, Leah. I've heard from multiple sources that there was a problem with the gearbox, and that perhaps made it, an easier choice. But if it was in fact because of some sort of corporate, what do they call those? It's not their mission, but it's a corporate values. If that is in fact why it happened, then all I'll say is that I hope that if I have values for Boone Builds, and I am found violating those values, I hope I stick to my values. So that's all I'll say. So, but anyway, Moto says technical problem, so it's technically accurate then. Why? Because that plane doesn't work very well in real life.
Yeah, at the beginning, they did have a lot of accident with it at the beginning.
Yeah. Jeff, oh man, the Q&A is what do you say, devolving? But Jeff says, Mr. Boone and or Leah, secret lizard people running our planet from the moon? Asking for a friend.
I hope not.
Leah, do you ever spend any time listening to any of the space what do you call those? Theory, conspiracy theory? Do you think any of them are they all?
I guess, yeah, I heard about it. It's supposed to be a hoax that, we send people to the moon and the flat earth and all that. It's just a whole bunch of garbage.
Yeah, okay. I heard once that the first lunar landing was not real, but all the others were, and yet somehow they look exactly the same. Okay. Well, that's. I think we'll probably stop there before the Q&A gets any worse. That was exactly an hour. What do you think, Leah? Any parting words? Anything else you would love to share before we wrap up tonight?
This has been awesome, really is, because I didn't really expect this at all.
No?
I mean, come on, especially to get to talk to you online in front of everybody. This is something really, really cool.
Good. Hey, how difficult would it be for you to show us the movement with the space shuttle one more time before we depart? Could you do it?
Sure, I can do it right now.
All right. Because there's more people watching right now. All right, listen, everybody, you're in for a treat. Leah's gonna go get that set up. She's gonna do the movement with the space shuttle one more time. We did it a little bit earlier in the stream, and it's worth watching. And she is kindly gonna do it one more time here before we wrap up. So let's see. I'll just while you're setting up, I'll say hi to a few other people. Oh, Cal Palcuber says, do either of you remember the old but not too old Mars mission sets? My favorite was the one with the pump rocket type thing. It was very functional, but very cool concept idea. Yeah, I actually do remember the Mars mission stuff. That was the one with those tubes, or was that, am I thinking of something else? The one with the tubes and the thing that you smash the deal and the little aliens like go through the thing. I see those tubes from now and again while digging through bulk at Beyond the Brick. Or not Beyond the Brick, Bricks and Minifigs. So that's fun. Beverly said, will there be another Lego show? Do you mean Lego Masters? I believe they're hoping that there will be a season 2. There were some Emmy, I think Emmy nominations, so should be a good sign. There was not an Emmy nomination for casting. I don't think there was an Emmy nomination for directing. Oh, here we go. I'll be quiet. This is when they would be flashing back and forth between people talking about what's about to happen. They'd have some NASA people. They'd have some news anchors. Jeff McElwee says Emmy nomination for best song. Boone got robbed. So cool. Legomatic says, I want to be on Lego Masters, but I'm probably not qualified enough. Just keep building, Legomatic. Keep practicing. Work on that portfolio. Take pictures of your stuff. Okay, here we go. So, Leah, does this rise up and connect with the platform?
Well, that's the thing. I guess the real crawler is supposed to be the one that actually lifts up the platform and lower it down. But at the beginning, with my design and everything else, I only have so much room into the crawler itself to put the motors and the Osprey receivers and the battery box.
Right.
So I went ahead and make the leg to do the lifting and lowering instead. So that way I can have a lot more space for me to put motors and everything else in it. So it's actually the legs are the one that's lifting the platform instead of the crawler itself.
Okay. So cool. Do your motors tend to last a long time? Have you ever had to replace motors or?
I haven't replaced any motors yet, but I do go through sets of batteries, maybe like each of the universe conventions that I do on the couple of days. I go through about 4 or 5 sets a day.
Okay.
So that's when I went ahead and changed it over to the rechargeable battery.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do actually have a lot of sets right now on the charger.
It looks so cool. Thanks, CalPal Cuber. Says, gotta go right before the end. LOL. Nice build, Leah. Thanks for streaming, Boone. Thank you so much, CalPal Cuber. Legomatic asked if you got any smoke left.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I hear it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Jeff says it looks like a miniature of the whole launch pad. Like it's hard to even tell from this angle that it's Lego. How long have you had this version?
I this version about 2 years.
2 years,
I
3
think I
years?
motorized it.
Leah, you're breaking up a little bit. All right, everybody, we will see if Leah comes back online. I feel like
About 3 or 4. Oh no, are you still there?
I think we're breaking up a little bit, Leah. I feel so much like this is a real NASA launch. Like, we're waiting to see if it's going to happen. I'm biting my nails. I'm so nervous. Okay. Well, I'll take a moment to thank everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. It's really been awesome. Fallen Tree 23, thank you. Benjamin Dury, yeah, that's me popping up, which means she has disconnected from Zoom. We'll do this. We'll go to here. Via Pre-Project, hello, thank you. Holly, thank you as always for being here. Jeff McElwee, Moto, Legomatic, Melissa, another great live show. Thank you so much, Melissa. Beverly, you guys are so awesome. Here's a little thing that I want to throw at you. I've been thinking about introducing, well, man, okay, I've been thinking about introducing a little character to my show, and it's going to be a robot. And part of me wants to name the robot so that I have a little bit of inspiration in building it. The other part of me wants to build it first and then name it after I see what it looks like. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. If you have any ideas for what I should name my robot character or what it maybe should look like, I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. This live stream, I'll say, is brought to you by Boone's Build Camp, boonsbuildcamp.com. And you can go check that out there if you or anyone in your life is interested in doing a virtual online experience. There's Q&As about how that works there. And, oh, let's see. It looks like Leah is back. We'll come back here. Leah? You're back. Leah, I think if you can hear us, we should say goodbye.
Sorry.
It's fine. Thank you so much, Leah. Your creation was awesome. Oh,
Thank you.
you connected now. I see you.
Yes, I'm back.
Did you want to finish doing that demonstration?
Okay, I'll go. At least I'll go ahead and do the smoke.
Yeah, here we go. All right, everybody. This is it. Jake Sadovich said Boone bot. There, it's done. I don't need any more feedback. That actually gives me a hilarious idea of what the thing's supposed to look like, too.
3, 2, 1. Minus. And off to Atlantis' computers as occurred. Auto rocket booster nozzle steering check and work. Firing chain is armed. Go for main engine start. Came out as 10.
Hold on. Smoke machine stop. Hold on.
That's fine.
Because the smoke machine has to warm up.
Oh.
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6. Engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0. And liftoff. The final liftoff of the Atlantis. Shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Awesome.
Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis.
Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. Really appreciate you all. Ben Kahn, thanks for being here. Hey, Leah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a real treat. I really appreciate you taking the time on a Thursday evening to come on and share all your awesome stuff with everybody.
It's been very, very fun. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. If you want to get notified about these live streams in the future, please consider going over to the, let's see, how do I do this? Can I do Control F5? No, not that. How about just F5? Yep, there. And if I go to PowerPoint, hit that bell icon. So please subscribe and hit that bell icon, and you will be notified about future live streams. Please, everyone, give a nice big round of applause in the live chat for Leah Chan. Thank you, Leah. And everybody, until next time, go build something amazing. This has been AFOL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Climb aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive.